Season's greetings, my folks. Since my Oz videos currently stand as the most popular videos on my channel, it seems most appropriate that we talk about the Wizard of Oz of TV specials, the 1964 Rankin Bass Rudolph, that you can easily trace any following Christmas special thanking Rudolph for their existence. So join us in this video as we'll be talking about the origins of Rudolph, the production of the TV movie, and the deleted scenes. Oh, and of course, if you're a newcomer, then don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see. Okay, with the context out of the way, let's get started. The Tale of Rudolph began as a short rhyming children's book given away for free in a Chicago department store, usually around about the Christmas season. Originally being published in 1939, and during the duration of World War II, there were 6 million copies that were handed out for free, but due to the rationing of paper stock, they had to subside the giveaway. The book author, Robert Louis May, who wrote and sold the story before publication, acquired back his story rights in 1947, going on to publish it as a hardback children's book, and brought on board a musician, that being his brother-in-law, Johnny Mark, if he could condense the story down into a Christmas song. Well, he wasn't overall happy with the final song, just feeling it was okay. Cowboy singer Gene Autry was sent a demo to do as a possible cover. He was reluctant at first, but seeing the potential, his wife insisted. He released his cover of the song in 1950, which from there turned Rudolph into a household name. Starting production in 1962 was an hour-long TV special of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, intended to be broadcast on Rudolph's 25th anniversary. The original book author, Mr. May, signed off on the project, with the understanding that it wouldn't be a hand-drawn cartoon, on the same resemblance of the Rudolph theatrical cartoon of 1948. The special would be brought to life through stop motion, which would be animated by Videocraft International, branding their stop motion as Animagic, being more or less the same as stop motion, but hey, it sounds good in a TV guide. All the animation was done abroad in Tokyo, Japan, and all the voice actors were Canadian, as it was vastly more cheaper versus than actually doing it within the States. That is, with the exception of Sam the Snowman, the narrator of the story, with actor legend Burl Ives, who was actually a last-minute addition to the cast, as Sam was originally supposed to be played by Larry D. Mann, who also played Yukon Cornelius in the special. He actually completed all of Sam's dialogue and singing. There's no confirmation as to what exactly happened to Sam's original dialogue, but since the practice of preserving the assets for films to TV shows didn't come into full effect for the media until the mid to late 70s, unless the 1964 Rudolph special is one of the rare exceptions towards this, any small or unused material likely doesn't exist anymore. Just before they were about to animate Sam's scenes, they actually deliberately changed the design to make the character resemble Burl Ives. The actors were only paid for the first 2 broadcasts of Rudolph, as nobody suspected that Rudolph was going to be repeated any more times. Rudolph's original songwriter Johnny Mark was approached to do some new songs for the special. He divulged into the project with much hesitation, fearing that the TV movie could possibly spoil Rudolph's image. A stern request Mr. May brought on about the special was about the numbers of Santa's reindeers, as traditionally there was always 8, but he became somewhat uncomfortable as people would refer to Rudolph as being the 9th reindeer. Thus, at the end of the special, it was only 7 reindeers, including Rudolph, that were pulling Santa's sleigh. The animation studio additionally created some adverts with the elf characters, advertising General Electrics for the commercial breaks during the first airing of Rudolph. These commercials added on an additional 10 minutes to the runtime. Adding that up to the 50-minute runtime of Rudolph made the special in total an hour long. The ratings for Rudolph did repeatedly well, giving a solid enough reason to constantly repeat the special year after year. The company Videocraft was rebranded as Rankin Bass, named after the 2 men that founded the company, They would use the high status of the Rudolph special and would license out other holiday songs into mini TV movies such as Frosty the Snowman and Santa Claus is Coming to Town, other holiday specials unrelated to Christmas. And well, I guess we could talk about the sequels, but maybe we should head back to our original subject. An aspect of critique that the film got at the time, where Rudolph and his pals gave a promise to the Misfit Toys, promising them that they would head back to Christmas Town, gaining the help from Santa to find them a new home.
As soon as this storm lets up, I'll find homes for all those misfit toys.
Although by the end of the special, we neither see Rudolph or neither anybody else to return for the Misfit Toys. This lack of conclusion didn't go unnoticed, as children would write in, upset for the lack of fulfillment promised by Rudolph and his friends. With the ratings doing moderately well for the special, they saw it as a non-financial risk for the following broadcast to feature an additional scene, where Rudolph and Santa would pick up the Misfit Toys, dropping them off upon their travel around the world, with an additionally new end credit scene, with the text now placed on top of the animation, where in the original broadcast they were actually written manually on the presents. Although it's worth noting that they misspelled the actress's name, Billy Main Richard, who played Rudolph in the special, on the newer credit sequence, spelling Billy with a Y instead of an IE at the end. In order to make room for this additional sequence, they cut out the dialogue from the onlookers, such as Rudolph's mum and dad and Clarice, as well as the final sequence with Yukon Cornelius, where he finally finds his peppermint landfield by the taste of his pit axe. But now in the final broadcast, there's no explanation as to why he's always tasting at the end of his pit axe. So it's either you can find silver and gold by the cunning skills of your taste buds, or maybe Yukon has just got a rather fond taste for the North Pole dirt. Upon adjusting the special, the producers were quite keen on deleting out the song We're a Couple of Misfits, finding the sequence to be somewhat melancholic, replacing it with a new song, Fame and Fortune, starting on its second broadcast in 1965. For the next 3 decades, this would be the standard version broadcast on television, although by the late 70s there were some slight additional edits, mainly for the benefit to make more ad time, such as the song We Are Santa's Elves, removing out the interlude midway through the song, and a couple of trimmed dialogue scenes from Sam the Snowman. In 1993, a rediscovery was made of the original broadcast copies for Rudolph. A restoration effort began of restoring the original film prints. The cut sequences from the original 1964 programme were edited back into the show for its 1998 airing, reinstating the onlooker scene and Yukon's final sequence. Through the popularity of the return of the scene, the Peppermint Mind would become a major plot point. In the Rudolph sequel, The Island of Misfit Toys, released about 3 years later, come 2005, CBS began showing a version of Rudolph, where the audio of We're a Couple of Misfits would be quite sloppily edited to the visuals of Fame and Fortune. Rudolph's DVD release would include the cut scenes as part of the main feature, with the Song of Fame and Fortune being a bonus feature on the disc. Every Rudolph scene that was removed on its second airing have been fully restored and made easily accessible for the home media market, but only with the exception of the original end credit scene has yet to have been officially released. In 2011 it was uploaded online by the Miser Bro Press YouTube channel, making it the first time it was seen publicly outside of its original airing, but only as a low quality black and white copy. The original final edit of Rudolph in its first broadcast does still exist. Rudolph, along with other Rankin Bass productions prior to 1974, are currently under ownership of DreamWorks. Rick Goldsmith, who's not only a Rankin Bass historian but also oversees their home media releases, did try and get the sequence released for the 50th anniversary of the Rudolph TV special, fully restored and in colour, but was unable to get the collaboration from DreamWorks, with Goldsmith going on to say that DreamWorks are more interested in the revenue that Rudolph brings rather than the actual presentation of the special, despite the rather blunt status from DreamWorks. Rudolph fans still remain optimistic that one day they shall get all the penultimate versions of Rudolph.